Hi, I'm Dr. Stacey Alexander, your August Accountability. We are here for the 2018 season of #GAI. Remember to invite your friends and your family. This week, we are focusing on the self-care quadrant. Now, my history, professional history, is I'm a licensed professional counselor. I have finished my doctorate in clinical psychology, and I've been practicing professionally for 20 years in private practice. So what I want to do this year for the self-care quadrant is give you some information about your emotional management. We'll have Crystal Garrett later this week. Her video will post. She is the owner and creative director of Beauty Is. She has a YouTube channel that's phenomenal. She gives you all kinds of beauty tips. She's going to join us on Thursday for some aspects of the self-care quadrant that may be helpful for you. But for today, I want to share with you some information of post-traumatic stress disorder. This year has been a phenomenal year in terms of getting the topic of mental health out to the masses. We are changing the dialogue from mental illness to mental health so that people will understand that it is more of a preventive measure to take care of your mental health than it is anything else. And so if we can get people to stop thinking about being mentally ill and think about their mental health like they do their physical, their dental, their optometry, their appointments, if we can get people to think about the mental health and how it feeds into the whole person, then we will have a greater success of opening up the doors of counseling centers all over the country for people to come in and do some preventive care, if you will. So today I want to share with you 5 things. Remember, we're focusing on 5 this year for the 5th generation of August Accountability. I want to share with you 5 things to help you understand that you may be suffering from some post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, people will equate this to traumatic events in our lives, or let me say phenomenally tragic events. But one of the things that I've learned over the years is that people tend to minimize their experiences because they feel like it happens to everyone and that they should be able to bounce back just like that. So these are some steps or some tools to help you understand that you may be suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Something may have happened in your life that you thought you recovered from, but you're still feeling some of the side effects from them. The first thing is that you're fatigued all the time. Once you've ruled out your physical aspect of it, once you've ruled out your schedule, you've done these things, you're eating right, but you're still fatigued, that means that you're still reeling from that experience that you've had that was traumatic in your life. The second thing is that you keep repeating things. You know how you say, oh, I'm tired of going through this. I'm tired of experiencing this. Meaning you keep going through the same things over and over and over again. They could be traumatic, or it could be something simple like, I'm tired of getting my car repossessed. I'm tired of not being able to pay my electric bill. I'm tired. But you're not doing anything to offset that experience. You may be suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. The last one is that you are highly emotional. I call it hypersensitive, okay? This is not an issue of, oh, you need to eat a Snicker and get over it, just get your blood sugar back up. No, this is that you're emotional over everything. Everything seems to get you at a higher level than it does other people. So what I explain to my clients sometimes, I tell them, you're at this baseline, right? Where the rest of us are at this baseline. So if that same experience happens to us, we have to come up here to get angry. But because you're already right here, it takes you a shorter amount of time to get angry. So it seems like you're always going off on people, whereas us that are down here tend to be a little bit more tolerant. So think about it. Are you emotional about things? Do you go overboard? Are you hypersensitive? These may be some things that you can talk about with a professional counselor. The other thing to be mindful of is that you're already sick. Not already, but you're frequently sick. You're always getting sick. It's always something. You have chills. You're losing energy, which is what we were talking about in the beginning. But you're always sick. You frequently have to go to the doctor. You're always trying to figure out what's going on with you. We do know that stress can kill, right? So some of the effects of post-traumatic stress disorder will have physical manifestations because you're continuously struggling with them without remedying the problem, okay? And the last thing, watch this one, you do more for other people than you do for yourself. That is something that you really need to be mindful of because, okay, let me give you an example. If you're on a plane, one of the first things the flight attendant tells you, if the plane is going down and you have a child next to you or an elderly person next to you, make sure that you put on your face mask, your air mask, oxygen mask before you put that other person's on, because you're the stronger person. If you go down, then both of you go down. But if you go ahead and secure your oxygen first, then you can reach over and secure that other person who is maybe deemed to be weaker. It's the same thing in our lives. wise. We have to make sure that we're on solid footing before we can take care of other people. We tend to say yes, 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 and I've been guilty of that as well, which is one of the reasons that the self-care quadrant was brought into August Accountability, is that we tend to take care of other people and we're sacrificing ourselves. So we have to look at all of these things in conjunction. Don't just isolate them, but it is something to open up the conversation about your mental health. Do not negate it. So I told people that I was going to highlight that this year, because I asked for God to give me a larger platform to discuss mental health and being a mental health advocate. And I felt like talking about August Accountability 5 years ago was a way to bring it to the masses without it being scary, without it being frightening, without us having to be anxious about actually talking about August accountability in terms of our mental health development. But I do want to verbally say this year that your mental health is important. It is a part of the self-care quadrant. And guess what? If we do not take care of that, we actually tend to fall short in the other quadrants because we're so consumed with these experiences that we've had in the past. So I know it's a lot for this little bit of segment for the self-care week, but I hope that you will take heed to what I'm saying. I hope that you'll take care of your mental health. And as always, ask questions, post, be transparent, be open. It's a private group. If you want to inbox me and ask me the question and then let me post it in the private Facebook group, everyone else will be able to see it. So make sure you tune in with us on Thursday, 7 p.m. Crystal Garrett and I will go live to continue discussing the self-care quadrant. And do not forget to watch our interview, which will be available all day Thursday for the remainder of the month. We're doing an awesome job. I look forward to talking to you ladies every day this week. Make sure you engage. August Accountability 2018 is here in action and making change.